Hello YouTube. I'm going to do a quick collection update video. This is for April of 2014. So this is basically the titles that I've picked up for the collection in the last couple months since the last video. I'm not going to split these up by system, I'll just kind of cover what we have here. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started here. The first game I have is a PS Vita game. I don't actually own a PS Vita, but they had this marked down at Best Buy, so I figured I would pick it up. This is the most recent game in the Wipeout series, and I think it may actually end up being the last game in the Wipeout series, unless someone else buys the license. The developer, which was Sony's in-house studio, Studio Liverpool, which is the remnants of Psygnosis, they were basically closed down shop after this game was published, so sadly this might be the last game in the series. One thing to note is I took this out, I opened it up because I wanted to see what the actual game card looked like. It's kind of like an SD card. This is basically the only thing that comes in it, no manual anymore. You just get a single piece of paper that's the activation code. So I'm guessing that they want you to go online and read the manual, or they don't even care. Maybe they put it on the card, I don't really know, but I think that's kind of lame. Next up we have, this took a little bit of time to track down. This is King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match. I believe this game was actually published in 2008, I think. Let me see if it says anything on the back of the box. Well, it has a sticker over it. This is unopened. Everything that I have in the last little bit of time hasn't been opened yet. This is King of Fighters 98, which was kind of the pinnacle of the series with the most number of characters and things like that. They re-released this, I believe, in 2008, and it has upgraded backgrounds and I think even more characters. Yeah, it says on the back here that it's got 64 characters, and there's 10 that have never been featured in the game before. So that's kind of cool. There is another one on PlayStation 2 that's called the King of Fighters Orochi Saga, which is 94 through 97. That title, even used, goes for quite a bit of money. So if I can ever find a cheap copy of that, I might pick it up just so I can own all the King of Fighters games on PS2. Up next, we have sealed copies of F1 2012 and F1 2013. This is the most recent game in the series. This was hard as heck to track down. This just came out in November of 2013. There's a story behind it on the internet that the game was ready to go, I think, in the summer or even in the early summer. It shipped as a digital download title on the PlayStation 3. It shipped on PC, but there was some technical issue with localization or something. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was an issue with the packaging or something like that, but the physical copies for the US market were substantially delayed. And I think when it eventually did come out, it came out in very limited quantities. So this is a new copy. I had to pay a little bit more than $60 to pick this up just because it's so hard to come by. But I think the benefit of the box copy is it comes with the classic content, this 1980s pack, which I think is a DLC to the download version. So I'm glad that I had a chance to pick these up. Like I said, it's not opened yet. When I get around to it, I'll probably just play them, Next up, we have the much maligned Silent Hill HD collection. I picked this up at Amazon for I think $10 or $15. It's unopened. This is a collection of Silent Hill 2 and 3. But the problem was there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff about this title. This collection was, I think, an American developer did the basically the emulation of the game, since this was originally a PlayStation 2 game. They had the code from Konami that they then worked around and fiddled with to get it to run on the PlayStation 3. But the behind-the-scenes story about this is that Silent Hill 2, which is often regarded as the best game in the series, I consider it the best game in the series. I played the first 4. I like this one the most, but behind the scenes, what happened is Konami of Japan didn't have the original source code to Silent Hill 2. What they did have is an earlier version or a beta version, which is what this was originally based on. So the developer in 2012 or 2013, when they were making this collection, was working from unfinished code. So not only did they have to do the translation and redoing the code to get it to run on the PlayStation 3 hardware, they also had to fix bugs or address issues that were in the beta code. So they were basically fixing game problems that Konami had done themselves when it originally shipped like 10 years ago. So I think that this collection, especially the Silent Hill 2 version of the game on here, is got a lot of criticism on the internet. So I think I might open this up and try it out and see what we get. I know originally they took some heat for redubbing a lot of the game audio, like the voice actors, but I think that there's both versions on this disc. But that's just what I read on the internet. I'll have to fire it up and see what we get. And then the last thing we got is PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which is, to my knowledge, is a Super Smash Brothers type melee brawler with characters from different PlayStation games. Ironically, I just read an article about this today on the internet saying that there's a huge content patch coming out where they're fixing something like 60 issues with the game and adding some new character costumes and things like that. So that's kind of cool. And this game is pretty inexpensive. You can find it often on Amazon or Newegg for like $10. So we'll fire it up and see how it is. The last thing that I got is I had this in the collection, but I've never shown it off before. I got a NeoGeo X Gold limited edition. This is a combination handheld and with a docking station. You can hook it up over HDMI to an HD TV. This is basically like a portable NeoGeo system, sort of. I mean, it's obviously runs through emulation. So basically, the system itself is it's this tiny little handheld thing here. It comes with a joystick in the package, and it also comes with this little dock, which is shaped like the original NeoGeo system. Basically, you put the handheld in the dock, and then you can connect it to your TV over HDMI. This is the limited edition of the console. I don't know if there is a standard edition. I don't know if this is even still in production anymore, but the limited edition is advertised as containing Ninja Masters with an apostrophe S at the end because it's bad grammar. You know, I don't remember playing that NeoGeo game, but built into the system are 20 games. We're getting a little bit of glare here, but let's see if I can read them off. Some of the key games, and we got King of Fighters 95, Metal Slug 1, Samurai Showdown 2. It's kind of a mix-up of different things, and then it's got some, I think it's about half fighting games, and then it's got some of the other NeoGeo back catalog, which we have like Nam 75, Last Resort, which is a shooter game, Puzzled, League Bowling, and Magician Lord, which is one of my favorite games. It's a super difficult platformer, and it's also got Alpha Mission 2, some other things. So to go along with this, I also purchased the additional arcade stick, which this I see being pretty rare sometime. It's got these little NeoGeo stickers closing it off. This is an additional stick that you can use to hook in, so you can have a second player compete on the system, which is kind of neat. So this was like an add-on. This didn't come with it. This was basically like a separate part number that you had to order. So I don't think they'll sell too many of those because it was kind of hard to track down. And then they released 5 separate collections of games, and then they also released the Mega Pack Volume 1, which is basically the contents of the 5 separate volumes at an increased price. So I think the normal collections are $30 for the game cards, and I think each one has 3 games or 4 games or something like this. So this is a collection of all 15 on one game cart. And then this is still sealed. The packaging on these is pretty neat, and it's in this retro NeoGeo style clamshell. For people who have never played with the NeoGeo or seen how it was packaged, I mean, it was gigantic. The cartridges were basically the size almost of a Super Nintendo by themselves, just each game cartridge. So this, I appreciate the time they took to put in the retro packaging. So this should be neat. This collection here, I mean, this has got Metal Slug 2, King of Fighters 96, and then some other ones we got here. Blues Journey, which I think is a platformer. Kazuna Encounter, which is a hack and slash beat 'em up, I think. Next Glory, which I'm assuming is a soccer game. So this is pretty neat. This is kind of a collector's item. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to open it. I mean, I have so many of these games in different formats and on different systems and different collections. It's nearly impossible to collect anything like this on the NeoGeo physically, like the original NeoGeo system, unless you have boatloads of money, because some of those games are just, I mean, there's games that peak over $1,000 or even more. I know there's a handful of games. I think that Kazuna Encounter is one of them, where there's like less than 100 cartridges worldwide that they even ever produced. So, I'll probably never have an original NeoGeo. I've played with one. There's a retro gaming store that's maybe about 60 miles from me that has multiple locations, and they do sell it. They have systems, and there's some places on the internet where you can buy systems that have been cleaned up and rehabbed and kind of converted for modern audio and video outs. But it's definitely niche. It was niche when it came out. The NeoGeo, I think, originally shipped at like $700 or $800, so it was never designed as a normal, regular, everyday system. I mean, it was designed for people who were arcade enthusiasts who wanted the same experience in the arcade at their house. So thanks for watching. If I have anything else, I'll tack it on to the end of the video. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. If you like what you see, just let me know. If there's anything that you think I'm missing from the collection, just share it, and I'll do my best within my financial means to try to track things down. So have a good one. Thank you for watching. Just a couple other quick things that I wanted to share. I have a handful of games. I showed the PS Vita version of the Wipeout game. I have a handful of games for systems that I don't own. It's just basically unique things that I picked up. So the first one is I have a US release copy of Ikaruga for the GameCube. This is the only version of this game that was published in the States. It's primarily known as a Dreamcast game, and then I think it was shipped on the Xbox Live Arcade, which I don't have an Xbox 360, but that's my understanding. So this is kind of a neat thing. I don't know how much this goes for. I probably shouldn't have opened it, but I kind of wanted to open up and see what was on the inside. I think this case is being a little weird. All right, there we go. I have a copy of Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition for the Nintendo Wii. I think I picked up a bunch of these and I gave them out as gifts, and then I saved one for myself. And then this is extremely odd. This is an offshoot of the Gradius series, which is Otomedius Excellent, which I think I'm pronouncing that right. This is one of those like Parodius, Gradius games that was an offshoot of Japan. That's something that you would never ever see a release in the States, and this got an official release in the United States. So this is an Xbox 360 game. This is the only one that I own for that system. But I figured I picked it up. I don't even remember where I ended up tracking this down. I think it might have been at Newegg or something, or maybe it was something I just spied at Best Buy one time, and I was just like, that is incredibly odd. I should probably pick that up just to add to the collection. And it's got the Shoot the Core, which is the the slogan from the Gradius series. So thanks for watching. Probably one of the most unique things in the collection is this. This is a Dragon Quest controller for PlayStation 2, manufactured by Hori. This was a limited edition package that was sold at the time that Dragon Quest 8 came out. So basically, I think there was, it's got the buttons and stuff around the bottom. It's got a detachable controller port, and I think it actually comes with, there's a cable in the bottom, and there's a little display stand too that you can put it on. This is very weird. I think I got this at an electronics boutique when it was on clearance. Maybe for like 20 or 30 bucks or something like that. I think there was a Metal Slime version of this as well, but I don't know if that was ever sold in the States or not. If it is, it's probably extremely rare.